The Rubricator is within the Ullyxr Collective's grasp. We just need to get to it before a neighboring Lithoid empire does. Fingers crossed. Hello, Legion. This is Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more Stellaris Toxoids in our Heralds of the Dark Nova series. So, this world here, which makes very loud noises when you get close to it, is Coria 4. And Coria is a new system that appeared as a result of the Rubricator event popping during the previous episode. So, we are currently locking down Eliathion, which is a neighboring system we were planning to lock down anyway. And then hopefully we can lock down Rockaron, which will close off the access to the Coria system from any other empires, and also kind of lock down this arm in the way that we wanted to. Toxic terraforming candidate discovered. Nice. That's in the Kuiper system. It is pronounced Kuiper. I know this because our solar system has a Kuiper belt. It's out near Pluto. Okay. So we have some colonies being established. Do I have a colony ship on the way to that world yet? Yes, I do.
Rocket new tech.
So we're going to have some occurrences right at the beginning of this episode, just some events, because in addition to these technologies that are finishing, we have the fleet just a few systems away from these space amoeba. So we're going to take care of them. Ooh, what's going on over here? This is territory that belongs... Oh, the Bellimacosan autocracy is doing things with their borders that are like really similar to what I'm doing with mine. That's interesting. So I'm not the only empire that's had this kind of luck during this playthrough. All right, we finished our research into advanced corvette hulls. So our corvettes and frigates now have more hull points, which came at a great time. I think I would like to go ahead and research. Yeah, I want to knock out some of these technologies that are like so close to being done and that are giving me like basic benefits to help with the construction of ships and various other things. All right, so we now have an improvement to our encryption. Like I said, got a few events right around the corner. Black hole observatory, probably a good idea to go ahead and have that, although the cold fusion reactor is also probably the best thing for me to go for right now. Yeah, let's do that. It'll be done in 27 months. I'm going to select ion thruster here so that we can move a little faster. And we do have the ability to build some spawning pools, and with a little bit of... I don't want to sell my moats. Okay, just a few days I can build a sensorium suite. There we go. Didn't have to buy for that. Things are going pretty well at the moment. Oh, nice. That I was not expecting. So we've started the subterfuge tradition tree. So our code breaking is a little bit better, and we have selected a tradition which gives us better code breaking, better operation skill, and better tracking. Now we can improve our encryption and our chance to evade. I like that idea too. Let's do it. So you can see that our fleet strength has jumped up to 5.1k now that we've gotten some of those upgrades in. The upgrades that I just got were not upgrades that require the ships to go back and actually install anything new. They just boost hull points, which is pretty great. Governing ethics shift in the Bellimacosan autocracy. Following a long period of growing support for the Xenotolerance Institute, the Bellimacosan autocracy has finally embraced the faction, adopting their core values and policies. As a result of bringing this faction into the government, they have become more outwardly xenophilic. So that's interesting. We might be able to treat with them a little bit more easily now. All right, we can build a starbase in Rockaron. Let's see if we can get that done before they beat us to it. All right, so we've arrived in this system. Let's see what kind of quick work we make of the space amoebas. Beautiful.
Situation log updated.
Aha! The birth of the galactic market. De facto galactic trade, unbound by the performance of international diplomacy, has existed since we first discovered that we are not alone in the universe. As new borders are discovered and old ones redrawn across the galaxy, galactic leaders agree that it is time to legitimize this commercial forum so that all may benefit. In the coming years, independent traders and government agencies will be looking to establish a quasi-centralized hub for galactic commerce. We would surely benefit were this hub to fall within Ullyxr space, so we can choose to promote one of our worlds for this purpose. Understood. You know, almost every single time this event pops, I will go for it. I will try and get the Galactic Market Hub on my home planet. In this case, I'm not gonna. Because it doesn't fit with who the Ullyxr Collective are. So they're going to be a little bit more reclusive. They might still try to manipulate things behind the scenes, but we're not going to go right in by saying, yeah, let's be the hub of the galactic market. We're going to hold off. We have plenty of power regardless. All right, let me also take a quick look while the game is paused. I'm trying to find a way to potentially upgrade this. Actually, I might be able to get away with it. Let's see. Yeah, give it 20 days and I can upgrade it.
System survey complete. Research complete.
All right, so we do... All right, that's good. We're going to get Rockeron in our system, so we don't have to worry about whether or not we'll be able to lock down the Rubrix world. That is a 23-slot relic world, and the great thing about Coria 4, the great thing about this relic world, is that we don't have to investigate the archaeological site with the Rubricator until we are good and ready. So we just have a nice planet that we can expand on and benefit from, which is really nice. All right, so Ion Thruster, that upgrade will have to be applied. Oh, nice, cruisers. Oh man, so many good options. Holy crap. Okay, well, since we've just unlocked cruiser tech, it seems like the obvious choice, because that might not pop again very soon. Tarkstain, you need some additional... We do need more energy production, don't we? Because we've been flagging on that a little bit. But also additional mining. Ugh, I don't want to sell... I really don't want to sell alloys, but I just feel like I don't have a choice. Let's get some additional minerals. Mainly, the resource, like, pseudo-shortages that we're experiencing have more to do... I can build a starbase there, nice. And we'll build one here in just a moment. They have more to do with the fact that I'm just getting so much done so quickly than that I actually have any resource shortages anywhere. Archaeological site event pending. The Shattered. A Grunor data crystal has been recovered on VTR PN98, dating to some 7 million years ago. The data crystal contains partially readable military records pertaining to the planet's invasion. So where is this? This is in Zubin. Apparently the Grunor were expecting some measure of armed resistance and were not impressed by the incredibly slow-moving Baal. The record describes the ease with which the Baal's delayed responses were circumvented in a highly derogatory fashion. Interesting. So it looks like the Grunor were the really, really, really mean ones.
Accretion complete.
Nice.
Innovation rollout.
Battle simulators and naval logistics office. That's good. Terraforming. That's also good. Galactic bureaucracy. That's also good. So many options. Holy crap. Starbase capacity +2. Probably the best option for now. Because we're playing a defensive empire, having the ability to build additional starbases seems like the thing I should be going for right now. I'm just saying. Let's go ahead and queue up gun batteries. And then a hangar bay. And then I can set up a listening post now. This is in Zubin, which will be kind of great for all kinds of reasons. And we'll do the communications jammer second.
Construction complete.
So you'll recall that the communications jammer, the function of that is to make it more difficult for ships to escape from combat. So if someone attacks me and their ships reach a certain point of damage, they have the option to leave the fight, but a communication jammer makes that harder to do, thereby making it more likely, as I said earlier in the series, that you will defeat the ship outright and the enemy will lose it. Do I have any science ships that can explore? All right, this one is working this particular archaeological site, so I can't do anything with them at the moment.
Construction.
I have 83 minerals coming in every month, which is insane. I'm just doing so much with them so quickly that I'm always out of minerals. It's a good problem to have. I shouldn't, you know. What was the phrase? Look a gift mouse in the horse? Yeah, I shouldn't do that, should I? That's not actually what I said, but one of my mods was joking about that in the comments, and I haven't been able to forget it ever since. What I said was, I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouse. That should be a t-shirt. All right. Resource silos on Ullyxr might be a good idea. It's a fairly remote world. You know what? Let's go ahead and do it. Caster has some space, and Caster can build moat harvesting. Unlocks lichen fields, agriculture districts. This unlocks hot springs. So this just gives me some additional room for things that I don't need yet. However, I do want to have some moat harvesting. So why don't I go ahead and queue up 2 of those, because having some additional moats so that I can run some edicts seems like a really good idea. Also, we will have the ability to mine crystals on a lot of our planets. So we're starting to bring the second stage resources into the fold, which is great news. Oh, this needs to be a sector, doesn't it? Let's go ahead and make that. Yeah, that works for me. Recruits. Ooh, a research boost. I mean, it's better to have a research governor like this in another system. So what I'll do is one of these newer governors. Let's take a look at this. Which of our sectors is outputting the most research? The core sector. And this governor is mindful. Can I just see the leader's information? There we go. I forgot there's not a key for it anymore. All right, so mindful is... Okay, got it. So let's go ahead and select this sector. There we go. So now that research is going to be boosted that way. And then the governor that was, very experienced, by the way, governor that was governing the home sector will now govern that sector instead. And we are going to upgrade a few things here. Probing the void. After years of study, some researchers on Kral are beginning to feel they understand the null void. There are currents, forces, some flow, which greatly pushes against the portal to Kral, bringing the traces of dark matter we are able to collect. In theory, it should be possible to make our portal more visible to this force, which should result in a larger harvest. All right, so there's a special project to probe the void. I'm concerned. Hopefully this won't go too terribly. It looks like there's some pretty good resources available. We just don't quite have everything we need yet. All right, let me go ahead and build a starbase in Korea. We are exploring the Uravwas system, which is, actually a fairly big system. Look at that. There's a lot going on here. It's somewhat Sol-like, but with a class F star rather than a yellow star. Aha! Archaeological site event pending. Another Grunor data crystal has been unearthed, detailing a series of military orders, including the coordinates of another former Baal colony. Our archaeologists, eager to further unravel the history of these two foes, are uploading the data now. 3rd time's the charm.
Situation log updated.
All right, so it looks like... Rundor. That's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. Can't we use... Oh, man, it's blocked by the... Are your borders open to me? No, they're not. Man. It's in the Rundor system. So it just put the last precursor, despite the fact that we have so much territory. That's finally a little bit of bad luck for this series. Well, it's not the first bit of bad luck that we've had, but that's probably the most annoying bad luck that we've had so far, I would argue. All right, this science ship doesn't have anything more to do now, so why don't you go ahead and explore Takaram. And I suppose I can use experimental subspace navigation once I've got it researched. So we're going to queue up auto explore after that, just to make sure there's no additional places that ship can go. Although, do we have any more archaeological sites in our territory? Take a quick look. Aside from the rubricator, no, we don't. The L cluster, we have 5 of 7 insights. So that's really good too. The fact that we're so close to accessing the L cluster. It seems almost too soon in a lot of ways. Let's keep things moving, shall we? I'm going to pause for just a second while I make a decision here. Oh, we already have 2 resource labs here. Leavenbank is where precisely? Oh, yeah. You know what? We're going to do silos here as well. Just increase. These are all the way in the central sections of our territory. One of the best places that you can have a silo, boosting your storage capacity. It's less about having extra storage or like reserves and more about just having the ability to store more of the given resources. The Aramathian Council made peace with the Sildaron Authority.
System geology chart.
So these two were at war for a while. All right, so Uravwas has been fully explored. Let's go ahead and build the mining station in Korea, and then you'll need to go out there and get that station built. I want to go ahead and make a starport here. And we have finished researching cold fusion reactors. So we can improve code breaking. That seems like a good idea. Although the orbital shield generator also, for our particular race, I'm going to go with code breaking because that, I mean, for what they're doing in their specific story right now. So the defensive choice with planetary shields makes better, like from a distant perspective, just when you think about who the Ullyxr are overall. But as far as how this series is going and what they would want for their current objectives, better code breaking makes sense to me. All right, we can once again upgrade our ships. Communications established. We are receiving a transmission from the Akano Kingdom. They appear to have successfully translated our language. Diplomatic channels are now open, and all hostilities between us have ceased for the moment. So, the Akano Kingdom, theocratic monarchy. They are authoritarian, xenophilic, and spiritualist. Well met, alien. I represent the Akano Kingdom, led by the illustrious archprophetess Ufu Up Knu. We rule our region of space under a divine mandate, and so long as you do not interfere in our spiritual affairs, we look forward to learning more about your culture. The collective consciousness will be watching you. So where are you? Let's look around for just a moment. Human alliance. Interesting. So where is this kingdom exactly? Let's see if we can find them. The Akano Kingdom. Oh, there they are. Right next to the Vivisandians. I couldn't see them because they might have just split off from the Vivisandians. That's interesting. Or maybe they literally just were... Yeah, that's what it was. They were probably just born. All right, so we have this planet here. It's probably time... I mean, there's so much mining we could do here. Let's go ahead and do some generator districts, though, because... Well, no, this is a mining world, so let's build those more there. But we can build a generator district on Balkan Boss, which is set up better for them anyway. And not too long ago, someone mentioned in the comments a pretty good idea. I haven't gotten too far ahead of the comments just yet, just on account of working on other channel stuff, but actually this recording session now is the first of many where I'm probably going to get a good ways ahead of all of you in the comment section. Please continue to leave your feedback as you have it, but just know that whatever episode you might be commenting on starting now is probably going to be a good ways in the backlog for me. So, because we're trying to get, if you are just joining us rather than being here from the beginning of the series, we're trying to get as much of this pre-recorded before First Contact comes out so that I can have 2 concurrent series running after First Contact drops rather than having to switch or stop playing this one. So, wouldn't normally go about it this way, but that's what we're doing. Anyway, that's a tangent. What was mentioned in the comments is you should probably produce some food so that you can start converting it into other resource types. And I tend to agree with that thinking, I think. So I'm going to build an agricultural district on Weiston and just begin producing a little bit of food that we could convert into other resources.
Construction.
Senate's now in session. Regulatory facilitation. Diplomatic weight from economy. I really like that idea. reduces habitability, but regulatory facilitation. We should leave regulatory decisions to the experts. Industry leaders are the best qualified to identify wasteful regulations that impede productivity. So, okay, that'll help us gain more influence because we have such a strong economy. Okay, so I do need to research. One thing I haven't done yet is I haven't researched wormhole traversal, and so we haven't been able to get into that system yet. It's likely that there will be a fairly intimidating force there when we get there, so I'm not in a hurry necessarily, but we need to get that done.
Anomaly found.
Waterless canyons. Canyons deep enough to be seen from orbit furrow the surface of Takaram 2, yet the planet is as dry as a dust bowl. What could have happened to the water that once so profoundly carved Takaram 2's stone? Don't know. Good that we're still finding anomalies, though. Metamorphic dehydration. Following a thorough investigation of Takaram 2, the Ullyxr Avalanche crew has confirmed that the planet used to be covered in flowing water several billion years ago. However, the geochemical composition of the planet's basalt crust proved highly hydrophilic, so much so that Takaram 2's thirsty rocks eventually absorbed and bound all the water on its surface. Now all that remains of these vast oceans are salty brine streaks lining Takaram 2's numerous canyons. Science Officer Bonchir Abduras adds that the mineral hydrates now dominating Takaram 2's landscape could have many valuable industrial applications. Stop giving me minerals! Stop it! Stop it! I'm good. I'm a lithoid empire. I don't think this is like programmed for lithoid empires, is it? This is just ridiculous luck. That's what this is. Ugh. Okay. All right, we have some pretty basic fleet command and naval capacity upgrades here. Also, claim influence costs and war exhaustion costs are good, but I really like the idea of going ahead and getting some gene tailoring done. So why don't we go ahead and research that? Of the options I was just looking at, that's the one that I'm most in favor of. There is significant... Hang on, let's go ahead and send you here. Then we'll build a starbase and less off. There is significant scarring on the surface of this world in a pattern that cannot be natural. From orbit, the massive rifts look almost like writing. So another anomaly in Takaram. Oh, that makes sense, though, because it's kind of close to our home planet. So these are anomalies that have been in place from the beginning of the game, waiting to be discovered. Although I don't think it quite works like that. Archaeological sites can be discovered as you get to them, but I think there's a chance for anomalies to be randomly generated based on the skill of the scientist. So it might not be that way. Alien writing. Someone used a mining laser from orbit approximately 5,000 years ago to carve a large body of writing into the surface of Takaram 1. The massive script covers a large portion of the planet's upper hemisphere and appears to be a short story chronicling the difficult life of an alien mercenary. Fascinating. Alright, so it looks like we can no longer auto-survey anywhere. Yikes. So why not go ahead and start supporting research? Let's find out which worlds are the most productive research-wise. Levenbank, Ullyxr, and Grimvoss. And then Levenbank. Let's see. It's in the Vanico system. All right, so we will be assisting research there, and we have started to hit an energy deficit, funny enough. So let's go ahead and get that resolved by building a generator district on a couple of planets. See, we're starting to have enough minerals handy that I don't have to do any crazy buying and selling, because the economy is continuing to spin up. All right, relatively soon we're going to be able to build a starbase in Takaram. Let's take a quick look at the Kelazon Republic. their fleet power is pathetic compared to ours. And now that we're almost done locking down our territory, again, my focus right now is I want to finish kind of locking down the territory I have access to, and then I can start using my influence to claim territory belonging to the Kelazon and get them back for what they did to our scientist. That is still... I mean, rocks have long memories. We haven't forgotten. We're going to get them hard. Let's see.
Special project complete.
Calling the Void. A vast signal amplifier has sent a blast of energy through the portal on Krail, rather. I keep calling it Crawl, on Krail. The effect was immediate. The pressure on the far side of the portal is noticeably stronger, and with it comes an increased flow of dark matter. Excellent. So, let's see. Is it a special job that's producing the dark matter? I can't remember. Dimensional portal drone. Yeah. Yeah, so you can prioritize it like so in order to bring in the dark matter. And I think I do want to do that. Just to make sure that that's being worked. Fossils discovered on Undulon. Fossilized remains from several different species that do not appear to have been indigenous to Undulon have been found in a large and secluded valley on the planet. They all date from roughly the same time period within the span of a few centuries, some 3.6 million years ago. Each of these species seems to have evolved in its own unique biosphere, and all appear to have been sapient. Strangely, every fossilized individual found so far shows signs of having met a violent end. Create fossilized remains archaeological site at Undulon. All right. All right, so now we have a new archaeological site. Thankfully, the science... that's luck. The scientist that's free is our archaeologist. So you go ahead and investigate that, please. Let's take another quick look. I do want to go ahead and build the Takaram system first. Also, let me give the order to upgrade that Starhold, and we're going to take another look, because I have more minerals on hand. Okay, so you are going to be a shipyard. And then we'll build, let's see, battle simulators and a naval logistics office there. I love that they finally made that change where you can queue those up after shipyards and anchorages, even though one hasn't been built yet. That was a long time coming. All right, so the Rockeron station just needs a couple of gun batteries for now. We'll eventually be replacing some of the gun batteries once we have access to torpedoes, but for now we're not going to worry about it. Okay, so I still have 979 alloys. I think it's probably worthwhile. Let's take a quick look at our stations. Is it River, Standing Edge, Purpose? Yeah, like so. All right, so I could only build 2 there. Really? Oh yeah, those are pretty expensive. 352 minerals? Holy crap. Or 352 alloys, I should say.
Ships upgraded. Spaceborne life form encountered.
Spaceborne life form encountered where? Oh, maybe we just finished building... That's probably what it was. We probably just finished building the listening post here. Yeah. Just based on how many days have passed here, I would imagine that's what it was. And so now we can see a little bit farther, and we see a void cloud. Okay, cool. So to end this episode, looks like the game has just given us the option of an additional tradition. So we can choose no loose ends, and hostile operations become more difficult. Whenever a hostile operation targeting us fails, we gain 10 intel on the spying empire. Or we can have increased infiltration speed. Let's go ahead and say no loose ends for now. And reminder, when we finish Subterfuge, we will gain a bonus that allows us to refund 50% of the infiltration level cost of any particular operation. So we'll just be much more effective spies. I mean, It's not surprising that rocks make good spies, but you know, it's good to just see it manifested in the game's lore in that way. At least in this game's lore, because every game in Stellaris plays out differently. Okay, so the Janus Starbase, I think I would like to have... This is a shipyard. This one is going to be built more defensively. So let's do 3 gun batteries, hangar bay, communications jammer, and we'll go ahead and do a target uplink computer in Jana. And I'm going to go ahead and stop this episode here. In the next one, we're going to be very close to fully locking down all of our territory. Like, we're right there. We have to build up some influence to do it. I mean, we could potentially have an event occur that allows it to take place as well, where we get a big chunk of influence and can just knock out the rest of this. But once we're done with that, it's just a matter of using our influence to claim some systems that belong to the Kelazon and then hit them back really, really, really hard for what they have done to us in the past, especially since they seem to be so pathetic relative to us and just don't pose much of a threat whatsoever. So we've got that to look forward to. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. If it's not your first time or even your second, look for the join button to access unique emotes, badges, and other perks. New episodes are coming out every day at 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. Comments are always welcome. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.